Hello and welcome to another What Sold video. This is everything that sold on eBay from August 22nd to August 31st, so the end of August. And it's only going to be eBay sales because besides my live sales and whatnot, eBay was the only platform that was performing for me. Miss Moxie is letting you know she is here. She's down here somewhere. I'm going to scoot over here and maybe she'll come and join us. But let's go ahead and get started. There she is. There's my baby girl. Nobody wants to see your butt. Nobody wants to see your butt. Everybody wants to see your face. There we go. There we go. Everybody can now see your cute, very grumpy face. Leaning in for the pets. Alright. So the first item I have to share with you is actually a piece of ephemera. This is a vintage New Yorker. So it is the complete magazine. It's not just, you know, the cover or the advertisements that are inside, or advertisements, however you want to say it. Some people buy these old New Yorkers because they do have a specific date on them. This was from 1968, May 4th. And it'd be like, this day you were born, this is everything that was going on in the world. Or it could be a movie prop, or it could be somebody, another reseller, taking this piece and cutting all the advertisements out and selling them off separately, because those are all reasons why people buy this type of stuff. This sold for my full asking price of $24.87, and the buyer paid $9.65 for shipping. Because it does have advertisements in it, it cannot go media mail. It has to go priority mail also because this was a thick boy. But this was free to me. I found this in the hoarder house that I got to go to very early on this channel. I will link that video up above and you guys can watch it if you want to. This is a dress I actually initially purchased for myself because I thought it was really beautiful. Gorgeous, like jewel tones, but like fall colors. And this was an Athleta dress, and unfortunately, while it fit everywhere, it fit everywhere on my body. It was not gonna happen with the arms at all. So this beautiful Athleta dress sold for $15 and the buyer paid for shipping. This is an item I would not pick up, and I did not pick it up. It was sent to me in a thread up men's box. This is a Tommy Hilfiger piece with big H on it, but rib sweaters are in because that was very popular in the 90s. This is not a vintage piece, but it did sell for me for $11, and everything in that box was a $4 buy cost, so still happy that this sold. It did take quite a while to sell. This is a pure Jill piece. I actually picked two of these up at the Dab in Gloucester, and the gray one sold first, but this is the purple one, and it sold for $24. I am selling cashmere blend sweaters in August. Sold for $24 and the buyer paid for shipping. So the next item is a viewer sale. This is actually a new viewer. They found me through Victoria and Mai's collab. She came up to Richmond and went thrifting together, and both of us of course released a video because both of us do YouTube. And they sent me an amazing message, super sweet, saying that when they saw these mugs in my video that they had to have them. So B. McGee's Second Chance, that is all the information I got. Thank you so much for purchasing these London mugs from me. I saw them, I thought they were super cute, very vibrant, and as someone who also has fond memories of London, I hope that the person you are gifting them to loves them. And I, again, really appreciate that you decided to buy them from me as a new viewer. That's very sweet and means a lot to me. This is something I offered on Whatnot. You're going to actually see several books for sale in this video. I offer all of my genre fiction to Whatnot first in my normally weekly auctions, and then whatever doesn't sell goes on eBay. This was a brand new Mercedes Lackey books. I offered it for $2 on Whatnot. Nobody bought it, so then I offered it for sale on eBay, and it sold for my full price of $5.87. Again, I'm doing free shipping on my books, or I'm slowly converting everything to free shipping on all of my books because I'm trying to do the offer of buy 3 get 1 free, so you get 4 books. But super happy for this. I basically made a little bit of profit, and again, really happy because I really love Mercedes Lackey. This little need and the sword right here are actually from one of Mercedes Lackey's books, so she's an author that I actually personally collect. I knew when I found these that these were going to sell and sell pretty well. This is a pair of brand new Madewell joggers. I tried these on. Unfortunately, they have a 28-inch inseam and I have a 32-inch inseam, so they moved on to a new home, which made me a little sad because I kind of hoped just maybe they would have fit me, but again, I'm a tall lady, and so while they fit everywhere else, they were definitely too short in the leg. So they sold for $25 and the buyer paid for shipping. This is an amazing sale. I actually picked up a bunch. I've talked about on this channel how much I love buying and selling restaurant wear, mostly because of the fact that ceramics and glass in my area, if it doesn't get sold within a month, it gets smashed and trashed. And when I found these absolutely amazing Syracuse China Longhorn plates, this is the restaurant wear like you really want to find. You know, I buy and sell a lot of it because I don't want it to get smashed and trashed, and there are a lot of collectors of restaurant wear. But if you are one of those people that want to have a higher average sale price, these plates are what you want to look out for. These are Syracuse China. They're the airbrush Western plates. These were the oval shape, and these one had the longhorns. This type of plate that was popular in the mid-century also has a cowboy hat or spurs or a cactus. So there's a couple of patterns in this line. It's brown, which is what I have here, and then there is green and red, or like a reddish maroon color. So those are the three colors they come in, but all of these plates or bowls or cups or whatever you find from this line normally sells anywhere from $25 to like $50. It just depends on the piece. If you get some of the like larger pieces, it of course can go for more than $50. But I sold 2 of these oval plates for $79.74, so roughly $40 a plate. I paid $2 a piece for these at the Restore here in Newport News. So again, I know that my Restore or Habitat for Humanity store, however it's called in your area, is a little bit special in that they do have a lot of offerings for resellers in my area. I know not all Restores are created equal, but mine are amazing, and I've made so much money off of this Restore. This is a brand I actually heard of from Hustle at Home Mom. It's Saya Active. It is an MLM brand. And this I found for Thrift Miss. This sold for $23.90. It's a pair of leggings. These were a limited metallic print. This is an item that I actually tried on for myself, and again was too short for me, so it moved on to a new home. Super happy. I think I paid $6 for these at a thrift store. So the next item, I'm not sure if they are a viewer or not. I do know that they are a repeat buyer. I do have a few of them that are not viewers of my channel. They just, because I sell a lot of the same kind of stuff, and I do specialize in vintage and books, they tend to return to me. But this is Evan. Evan, if you are a viewer of the channel, thank you very much. Another book that was offered up on Whatnot for $2 and nobody bought it. So it sold for my full asking price of $9.87 here on eBay. This is a Jennifer Fallon book. It was brand new, and it's Medallion. So I made a nice profit off of this. And again, Evan, if you are a viewer of the channel, thank you very much. So this is a niche. As someone that really loves buying and selling vintage, I thought I would give it a try. This is a vintage nightgown from Gilligan O'Malley. It sold for $18, but it took a year and a half to sell, so I don't know if I just didn't get the right nightgown or what, or the print wasn't wild enough. I don't know. So I tried it out. I'm not sure that I would continue to pick these up, but if I get them for really cheap, maybe. I believe I picked this up at a thrift store for like $4, so I still made a decent profit off of it, but it did take a long time, so who knows. I might pick it up again, I might not. This is a vintage J. Crew pair of board shorts. I believe I picked these up at the Benz, so it'd be $1. They sold for $12 and the buyer paid for shipping. I like picking up J. Crew at the Benz. It does very well for me. Again, I am more of a volume seller, not so much a high ASP seller. Also, I really love vintage, so I like saving as much stuff from the trash as possible. Speaking of, this is a Nike running piece. It's a size medium. The reason I picked this up is because I was wanting to offset the price of another item. So in my area at Goodwill, sleeveless and short sleeve t-shirts are 2 for $6.25. So if I find one I really like and would like to get it for half off, I find another item that I think I could sell and still make a profit, even if it's not the same amount of profit, and it makes both of them worth it to me personally. So this was a nice loud Nike print, which I've noticed that loud Nike does better than like your basics. So this sold for $8.65, so I still made $5 and I saved something from going to landfill. This is another viewer sale. Again, you guys have just been leaving me the nicest notes on both my videos and then also on eBay when you're buying from me. Your support means a lot, and I just want you guys to know that. This is from Ron. They bought this Sybil book from me and left me a lovely note about how they remember watching this with their mom, and that it was quite the movie with Sally Field in it. And so Ron, I appreciate that. I appreciate you buying this for me. And they paid my full asking price of $9.87. So I picked this up, I believe, at the bins for 25 cents. So Ron, thank you so much. This is what I was talking about plain Nike. So I paid the same amount that I paid for the other piece. I paid about $3 and some change for this Nike ACG top. I figured that because it was ACG, which is a higher tier of Nike, it means all condition gear. It's supposed to be a little bit more technical than their regular sport Nike. And I was hoping that because it was the ACG line, it would help counteract the plainness. It did not. So it sold about the same amount as you would for plain Nike. Sold for $8.50. The buyer paid for shipping. Again, I paid $3 for this. So I still made, you know, $5 in profit, but it again took a really long time to sell. This is a vintage brand that I look out for, mostly for her prints. So the brand is called Cheryl Teagues, and this is one of her Hawaiian prints. She likes doing these boxy front, like floral and Hawaiian shirts. I do look out for this brand when I'm outsourcing. This is one of the ones where like the brand and the style both matter. And so this sold for $17.87, my full asking price. It sold relatively quickly considering it was a vintage piece. This is a book I've bought and sold multiple times. I found this at the bins. I have found this at estate sales. This is a vintage 1957 A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. I paid 50 cents for this at an estate sale. I paid 50 cents for this when I bought and sold it at the bins. It's just a consistent seller, so whenever I see these blue hardcovers from the 50s, I always pick them up because they always sell for me. They sell like more if they're in better condition. I believe this one had like a page, like one of the blank pages in the front ripped out of it. I think the most I've gotten for this book is probably like $15, and then this is the least I've gotten for the book. This is Junk Food. This is a Green Bay Packers retro ringer tee. Junk Food is a retro brand. They do retro reprints. They're not a vintage brand, but they do retro and vintage inspired reprints of popular properties like the NFL, MLB, like all the sports brands. They also do like gaming stuff as well. So I pick them up whenever I find them if I get them for cheap enough. Again, this is another instance where I paid like $3 and some change for a shirt, and it sold for $6. I was expecting more, but I had this for so long that I decided to just let it go. And this for $6, I made a little bit of profit and something moved out of my house. This actually surprised the heck out of me. So another item that I offered up on Whatnot and nobody bought it, so then I offered it up on eBay for $5.87, which is my full asking price. Somebody actually bought this through the global shipping program, which shocked me, and I think it went somewhere in Scandinavia. So this was a first edition fantasy paperback from Emily Davenport or Divenport. This is Scorpion. Beautiful artwork on the front. The cover is gorgeous. This is a fantasy book. Again, so surprised that nobody bought it on Whatnot, but sold right away as soon as I listed it, and surprisingly someone internationally paid that extra amount to have it shipped through the global shipping program, so you never know. This is something I picked up because it was just too beautiful to leave behind. This is a 90s Raffaella like linen blend cottagecore vest. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too big for me. Like, it was too tight here and too big here. Super cute though. Sold for $15. I believe I paid like $4 for this at a thrift store. This is something I have Matt over at Thrift Alive to thank. This is something that he picked up actually when we were thrifting together in San Diego, California, and he was like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "Oh my god, yes, thank you so much." And he's like, "I've done really well with this brand. You can have it." And so he picked it up. I, of course, paid for it, but he picked it out and he was like, do you want to sell this? And I was like, yes. This is a vintage piece. This is Circle S. You guys know I love buying and selling Western wear. And I did have to repair the inside lining of this, but that was an easy ladder stitch. I think that's probably why he passed it on to me, is because he knows I will do repairs. But it was a size 40. It had different material up here, and then it had some embroidery as well. It was a size 40, and it sold for my full asking price of $59.87. And of course the buyer paid for shipping. So Matt, I know you rarely watch reselling YouTube anymore, but thank you very much. I very much appreciate it, and I will link his channel up above because he's great and he has a lot of valuable information, and I'm so glad that his nomad life has worked out for him. This is a Champion hoodie. I got this for free. This is something that Carolyn and Ernie gifted to me. So Carolyn and Ernie, thank you very much. I believe this was Carolyn's. This sold for $9 and the buyer paid padded flat rate for shipping. So again, Carolyn, thank you very much. It was 100% free to me, so this was pure profit. This is a book I've talked about before in my How to Be Successful Selling Books Without Amazon on my channel. These psychoanalysts, psychotherapy, tapping into your third eye, psychic, supernatural books, like occult books, all of these kind of fit in the same category. These vintage books, again, this was like really big in like the late 50s, all throughout the 60s, into the early 70s, this whole movement. These books can be valuable. I picked this up for $1 at a thrift store, and it sold for my full asking price of $12.87, and it sold really quickly considering it's a vintage paperback. So this is stuff that I always look out for. And then the last item I have to share with you is also another book. This is something I offered up on Whatnot and nobody purchased it. I offered it for $2. Sold my full asking price of $5.87. It is a vintage copy of Sphere by Michael Crichton, one of his science fiction books. And that is everything that I had that sold at the end of August. Again, it's not all of my sales because I was doing weekly book auctions on Whatnot for the entirety of the month because of that big book haul that I picked up. So my next video will actually be talking about how much money I made off of those, because I'm going to give you a Bronco update in my next video. So hopefully I'll see you guys then, and until that video, bye! Bye. Hero, hero. Hero, hero. Hero, hero. I wanna be a hero, hero.